Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryechu Sarvada Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः श्री मेधा दक्षिणामूर्ति स्वामिने नमः ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम. Namaste once again to all of you. So last class we saw the 51st sloka, isn't it? Ghatastha deepavat swastah swantareva prakashate. That's what we saw, right? So a jnani basically has this sarvatma bhava, samadarshina, as Bhagavan Krishna called it in Bhagavad Gita, samadarshina. Okay. So even when he is a part of the external world, he sees himself as the very adhishthanam of the whole world. He doesn't lose sight of his antaratma, which is the knowledge that he has gained and he is abiding in that knowledge. So that is what we saw, right? He understands that the whole world is only nama rupatmakam, mithya, does not have independent existence. I am lending existence to all these things. So therefore they are all in me, but I am not in them. That is what Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says. So antaratma drishtim kadapina tyajati. He never ever sacrifices or gives up that antaratma drishti. This is what we saw, the vision of inner self. Now we'll see the 52nd sloka. Upadistitopi taddharme alipto vyomavanmunihi sarvavinmudavattishtet asarto vayuvaccharet. So another aspect Acharya is touching here. We have earlier seen that on the arising of the jnanam, and when a jnani gets rid of all this samshaya and viparyaya, his sanchita karma and agami karma are destroyed. But prarabdha karma remains. Because if prarabdha karma also destroyed, jnani will fall dead at that moment itself. The moment he gets jnana, jnani will be, the physical body will be gone. But that doesn't happen. So the prarabdha karma continues, right? And as long as prarabdha karma is there, the shariram will also continue. And as long as the shariram continues, this sukha dukkha anubhava will continue. This dvandva anubhava, like what? Manam, apamanam, sukham, dukkham, arogyam, anarogyam, all these things will continue. Even for a jnani, as long as his body is surviving because of the prarabdha karma. So now the question will be, how can you call a person liberated that he will not have any sukha dukkha as long as he has experienced this sukha dukkha in this body? This will be the major question anybody will ask. In fact, Dvaitins and Advaitins reject Advaitam only for this reason. I would say mainly for this reason. They ask, they say that yavat kalam sharira sambandha vartate, tavat kalam dukkha sambandhe api bhaveteva. As long as this body is there, you cannot avoid sorrow and misery. Now, how can you say a jnani is freed from or liberated from all the sorrows? As we see in Vishnu Sahasranamam, Sarva Dukkha Digo Bhavet. How can you say that a jnani is free from sorrow? Right? And that is the reason why they say that if you want to get rid of this dukkha and all, which is the definition of moksha, one has to drop the body, then only moksha one can get. This is their contention. And that is why they fall back on the Purana model and they say moksha can be there only after death. While living, nothing called Jivan Mukta is impossibility. That is their contention. Right. So as long as your body is there, hunger will be there, thirst will be there. Food may be available, may not be available, especially if he's a sannyasi. He can't buy and cook himself. He has to depend upon other people to feed him. On days he may get good food, on days he may not get food at all. Or he may get very little for whatever he needs. So he has to survive. Hunger will be there. Hunger is there, dukkha will be there. Dukkha will be there, then how can he be a jnani? All these arguments very beautifully, and these arguments sound very, very convincing, mind you. It is very difficult unless you are very sure about what you are talking, what you have understood from the Upanishads, what you have understood from Bhagavad Gita. Unless you are totally convinced, you will not be able to answer these Advaitins and Vishishta Advaitins. Dvaitins and Vishishta Advaitins. But they come up with such a powerful argument. But what they are missing is, we never say that whatever afflictions happens to the body will not happen to a jnani. Jnani will also have all the physical sufferings which a samsari has. He will have diabetes, he will have blood pressure, everything associated with this body mind complex. In fact, body complex, not body mind complex, body complex he will have. But his mind, because of the knowledge, because of the jnanam he has got, is different from the mind of the ajnana. That is where we say the difference is there. Even though a jnani may have all the sufferings, his reaction to the suffering will not be the same as the reaction of a samsari. Because he has been able to successfully understand, to detach his, his knowledge, with his knowledge, detach his mind from his body. So the jnani understand that all these pain which are related to the body are all mithya. Because the body itself is mithya. It has no satyatvam. I am lending satyatvam to this body. Padmaji is unmuted herself and all sounds, kitchen sounds are coming.
My hand, not kitchen sound.
Okay. I'll mute you again. Okay. So, Jnani knows that he has got a upadhi sambandha, no doubt, but that upadhi is mithya. And therefore, since upadhi is mithya and he falsifies the upadhi, he also falsifies the experiences relating to the upadhi. And that is what is said in this sloka. Upadhistaha api, even though the jnani continues to hold the upadhis, that is Tula Sukshma Karana Shariram, Prarabdha Vashat, because of his being caught in the Prarabdham. So Prarabdha Vashat, Tat Dharmaihi, that is Upadhi Dharmaihi, Aliptaha. Alipta means he is not affected, he is not attached. So even though the Jnani continues to be in the Upadhi, he is not affected by this. So this sloka actually Adi Shankara is giving a reply addressed to all these Visishta Advaitins and these Dvaitins. This is what you say, you try to understand what we are saying. And that is what his Jnanam is all about. To understand the mithyatvam of this jagat and the satyatvam of my own self, my Atma. Right? So does it mean that if a jnani is pricked with a needle, he will not feel the pain because he has detached himself from the upadhi? Not necessarily. He will feel the pain. He may even shout out of pain. Right? Because if that were so, it will be very easy to detect a jnani. Take a needle, go on pricking everybody. If somebody doesn't shout, he's a jnani. That is, you can, like thermometer we keep who has got fever and all that. These days, corona, they show this. Like that, you can find the jnani very easily. That's why Shastra makes it difficult to find a jnani. So a jnani also will feel the prick, he will also feel the mosquito bite, he will also have all sorts of bodily related issues and pains. But the difference lies in the way the jnani will react to it. Right? So, but then there is another case. If somebody has got some skin disease and you prick, he won't feel the pain. Now he's a jnani or not. So this is all, I mean, just aside. So the point being made is painlessness means what? What do we mean by painlessness? That we have to understand. Where is the pain caused? Whenever we are hurt, where is the pain caused? We have to sit and analyze that. Right? One is a biological pain, which happens when we have any physical injury or anything. And which is common to all the jiva rasis, including animals. They also feel the biological pain. Right? And this biological pain is purely prarabdha janya. This comes to you because of your prarabdha. And nobody can stop it. Because prarabdha is an arrow which has already been shot when you are born. So that arrow continues to travel. Nobody can stop it. Even Bhagavan cannot stop this prarabdha. He may probably try to slow it down and down because of your karmas which you are doing in this janma. Some concession he may offer. But he can't stop it. So this pain arising out of the prarabdha karma cannot be stopped. But human beings have got, in addition to the biological pain, what we say, sorrow caused by the biological pain. Isn't it? You may be able to bear the pain of your body, but what disturbs you is the psychological pain which that pain, biological pain causes. That's why if you have a back pain and all that, you get up in the morning, you get up with lot of sorrow. Oh my God, one more day, I have to bear this pain. I have to go along with this pain. And that sorrow, which is the result of this biological pain, is what affects us more in terms of our mental state. Amongst old people, there is one more aspect. They feel, if I fall sick, who will take care of me? Number one. If there are people to take care of them, they will feel, oh, I am giving trouble to so many people because of this. Because of my prarabdha, this biological pain, I am giving trouble to so many people. So if there are people to take care of you also, you have a problem. If you don't have anybody to take care of you also, you have a problem. This problem, both the ways, is what is the psychological pain. If there are people there to take care of you, you are lucky. Because these days we find most of the people have nobody to take care. And we appoint all sorts of people from outside, these caretakers and all. And we end up taking care of them instead of they taking care of us. Reality, practically many of us are facing this problem. And the second aspect, oh my God, because of me, all my family people are being troubled, and they are, I am causing so much of trouble to all these people. If you are causing, so be it. What is the problem? It is their prarabdha that they have to undergo this pain, this trouble of taking care of you. Whether they do it happily, smilingly, or whether they do it grudgingly, as long as they are doing it, you be happy that you are getting some attention and assistance. You don't need to add to that misery saying that, oh, they are being troubled and all that. You don't need to feel guilty about it at all. In fact, that is what happens these days. Children don't have any time to take care of their old parents. And what they say, oh, I've got office, I've got this meeting, I've got that meeting. But mind you, when you were 6 months old, my dear son or my dear daughter, when you were running high fever, I had to take leave from my office and then attend to you. That time you didn't think, your father also or mother also will have a meeting in the office and they cannot miss that meeting. Did it ever occur to you? If I had not done this, you would not have been alive today to say these words. This realization doesn't come to these children, many children. Not all of them are like that. Many of them are like that. It comes to that. So when your children were young and then you were sacrificing so many things to take care of them, it was your prarabdha at that time you suffered taking care of the children. Today when you are old and they are taking care of you, it is their prarabdha that they have to suffer, sacrifice so many things and take care of you. So it is all, as they say that the equation is solved. Neither you need to feel guilty, nor they need to feel any grudge. Prarabdha, just you have to do it, you can't help it. So this is how a jnani's outlook towards the entire thing changes. And in the end, jnani knows one more thing, which none of us know, that this prarabdha is also a mithya. So even to the prarabdha, he will not give satyatva. He will only have a mithyatva buddhi towards prarabdha also. But that is in a little advanced stage, we will come to that. Here we are assuming prarabdha is real. And that is why we are talking about the pain of prarabdha and all that, all from a samsari's point of view, not from a jnani's point of view. Okay. So, it is only the human beings who have got the biological pain which is followed by the psychological pain. As I said, animals also have biological pain, but they are not sorry about it. They may keep themselves safe knowing the threat, right? If somebody is coming to beat them with a big stick, they know they can, instinctively they know that it is going to hurt me and cause me biological pain. They may run away. But suppose they are hurt, they won't have sorrow. They will not sit in one corner and brood, oh my God, I am hurt, and all that kind of thing. Animals don't have it. It's only the human beings who have got all this problem because of this psychological pain. And this psychological pain is what is we call samsara. Biological pain, we don't never call it samsara. It is the psychological pain which is the cause of samsara. We must understand. That is why animals and all don't have samsara. Children don't have samsara. As long as they are child, they don't have that. The samsara occurs because of the ego. And the ego occurs because of the psychological factors. Antakaranam. Ahankaram is where? It's from the antakaranam, part of the antakaranam. This is the whole connection between this pain process. Right? So as I said, biological pain is not called samsara. The reaction, the psychological reaction to the biological pain is what is called samsara. And the whole process of the spiritual journey, whole process of going towards moksha, this whole process of getting or gaining that jnana is all about disconnecting this psychological pain from the biological pain. That is what is meant by a jivan mukta. So a jivan mukta is free from all this anxiety, fear. What will happen if I continue to have the same pain which I am in today, tomorrow morning when I get up? Jnani will never worry for it. We samsaris will worry. Jnani will say, if the pain comes tomorrow, I will deal with it tomorrow. Why should I worry and become anxious about something which may or may not happen? It may happen that this pain, vanishes overnight and then tomorrow morning I am painless. I don't mind. There is no biological pain. Possibility is there, 50-50 possibility is there. So a jnani will not worry, whereas a samsari will worry. What, 3 days I am having this pain in my hand. I am not able to lift my hand. Tomorrow also will it continue or not? This worry, a samsari will have when he is going to bed. I have not been able to do anything with my hand. Right? Can't even lift it. Some frozen shoulder, some problem has come. Samsari will worry, jnani will not worry. In fact, a jnani, as he becomes more and more abiding in the jnanam, even the biological pain, he may feel it, but he will totally stop reacting to it. In the earlier stages, he may at least, say, oh, it is pricking, paining and all that if you put a pill. Later stages, he has detached himself so much from this physical body that his non-reaction becomes spontaneous. He'll just forget it. I mean, for a moment he will feel a prick, he'll just forget it. And that's why we have stories about Ramana Maharshi and all who said to ask the doctors to conduct the surgery without anesthesia. He said, go ahead and do it. I'll manage. Either it is extreme titiksha, his ability to bear what kind of biological pain it comes. In fact, in one way, look at it, we can say that also. It is extreme amount of titiksha he has. So even if a heavy pain comes, he will be able to bear it and he will not react. That's why even Valmiki Maharshi, we hear the story that his name became Valmiki because he was sitting in tapas and in meditation, and all these ants built their, this ant hill on his body, and he never felt anything. If one small ant goes and bites us, how much pain it causes us, we know. But Valmiki, the whole ants have built an ant hill over him. And that's why his name became Valmiki. So all these stories we read in the Puranas and in even contemporarily, like Ramana Maharshi is not Purana. That shows that it is possible to do it, but by only those people who we can consider them as Jivan Mukta, who have detached themselves totally from this psychological pain and the consequence of a biological pain. So this is the difference we have to notice rather. So a jnani will understand what a sharira dharma is. He will accept that sharira dharma as a mithya and not worry about it. In short, this is what is the message being said here. And he says, Tat dharmaihi aliptaha. He does not worry about the upadhi problem. Aliptaha kaha. Who is aliptaha? Munihi, a jnani. Right? That's what he says in the sloka, isn't it? Yeah. Munihi, Vyomavat Munihi, right? Upadhistitopi, even though he is abiding or he is having the upadhi of the shariras, tat dharmaihi, all the upadhi dharmas, aliptaha, he is unattached. What other word I can use? Unaffected. Vyomavat, like Akasha. Who munihi, jnani, right? So, like a samsari, as I said, worries about whether if there are people to take care, not take care, all that. When you are not being taken care of, I gave birth today, these people, I brought them up so much, and now in my old age, they are not bothered for me. All these kind of psychological pains and all come to a samsari, right? So, here, for a jnani's detachment from the psychological pain, he gives the example of Akasha, Vyoma. Akasha is a very famous example for asangatvam, not being affected or not being connected with that, with anything, right? Akasha example we have seen a lot, right? So then he says, Sarvavit Mudhavat Tishtet. Yeah. Sarvavit Mudhavat Tishtet. Even though a jnani is amidst the people, how does he behave? Mudhavat Tishtet. He will be like a ajnani only. Like they say, do in Rome as Romans do. So in the midst of all the samsaris, a jnani also will do everything like a samsari only. So if there are bhaktas who are interested in pujas and and all that, what will a jnani do? He will also participate. He will not say, oh, I am a jnani, all this, I am beyond all these things. He will never say. If he is a real jnani. If he is a mithya jnani, he may say all these things. I am beyond all these things. This puja, punaskaram and all that. I am beyond all these things. I am beyond all these bhajans and kirtans and all that. The mithya jnani will say all these things. But a real jnani, he will be within the samsara, within all the people. He will participate in everything. He will go to the temple. He will pray along with everybody else. Everything he will do. But in his own mind, he will know what he is doing. He is just setting an example for all these people. Because the problem in our society is many people have high respect for these jnanis, Mahatmas. And in fact, they follow these Mahatmas, whatever they do, they try to do. Without understanding why the Mahatma is doing or not doing a certain thing. So if tomorrow a Jnani or a Mahatma stops going to the temple, what will people say? He is a big Jnani, he himself doesn't go to the temple, why should I go? This will be the first question. If he stops doing all these karmas, like puja and all that, when that jnani himself is not doing any puja, why should I do any puja? What great difference is there between me and the jnani? This is all questions people ask without having absolutely no understanding of what a jnani is, what his mental state is, what his achievement is, what his accomplishment is, what his attitude is. That is why a Mahatma, he doesn't need to do any of these things. He is beyond that actually, but he will still do it. The Shankaracharya and all the matams, all the Shankaracharya, we see with such a dedication they do Trikala Puja and things like that and all. On all special occasions, they do pujas, Abhishekam, everything they do. Why? Are they doing it for themselves? No. They don't need to do anything for themselves. They have already become Yanis rather. Whatever they do, that nothing is going to happen. Their Agami karma, their Sanchita karma are already gone. They are only waiting for the Prarabdha karma to be over. That's it. That's the end of the story for their life cycle. But still they do for two reasons. One, they do it for Lokakshema. Their Sankalpam is Lokakshema, not my Kshemam or my family Kshemam. So they don't have a family. So their Sankalpam is Lokakshema. And second reason is they want to set an example to the people that you must also do all these things. Being a Jnani, if I can do, being a Ajnani, you should do it more. This is the message they want to give. And that is why in any Shankara Matam you go, all the Shankaracharyas will be performing all the pujas. Adi Shankara set up this system only for these two purposes. He set up all the matams, everything, so that there is a, Loka Hitam is there for the benefit, because these mantras, these pujas, these abhishekams have got the power to do good to all the people. And their prayer is what? Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramaya. Always this prayer, day in and day out, this is the only prayer. So this is what we have to understand, the difference between a jnani. Even though a jnani is there, a Mahatma is there in our midst, but he will be exactly moodavat tishtet. He will be behaving just like a samsari, like a ajnani in our midst, because he does not want to cause an inferiority complex in anybody. He wants to be an inspiration to all, that jnani. He wants everybody to understand, what jnanam is and pursue that. That's what he wants. Okay. So amongst the Vishnu Bhaktas, he will be a Vishnu Bhakta. Among Shiva Bhaktas, he will be a Shiva Bhakta. So he does not have any this thing, any preference. I am a Shaivite, I am a Vishnuite and all. No, beyond all that. In fact, Adi Shankara has written 28 shlokas. It is called Jivan Muktananda Lahari. And Swami Paramahansa tells in one of his talks, it's a very beautiful slokas. Rather. Of course, I have not read it myself, rather, right? So it says the Jnani joins everyone because he does not have any personality of his own. His ego is totally neutralized. Swami Paramahansa just says, he compares a Jnani to a dalda. Many of you will know what a dalda is, the vegetable oil, dalda, which we used to get earlier. I don't know whether it is available now or not. There were two brands. One is dalda brand, one rat. Both were these vegetable oils. We used to, poor people, who can't afford this ghee and all that, they used to, as a substitute for ghee, they used to use this dalda. right? And the dalda will not have any color, any order. It is asparsham, arup, all that will apply to the dalda. And that's why probably Swamiji compares a jnani to a dalda, because all the qualities of jnani are there in the dalda. Okay. And it can mix with anything. Any vegetable you want to make, you can make it with dalda. That is what is the common thing. I don't know whether it was so popular in South, but not when I grew up in Delhi. It was very popular among middle class and lower middle class families. This dalda and rat, two brands were there. I very clearly remember. Dalda used to come in a yellow pack, rat used to come in a blue color pack. Remember that, right? So a jnani is like that. No qualities of its own, rather, and mix with everything. So sarvavit means sarvagyaha, moodhavat tishte. A jnani who is a sarvavit, he will be like a moodaha, like a ajnani in the company of all the ajnanis. Why? Because a jnani remembers the Bhagavad Gita, a very important Bhagavad Gita verse. Na buddhi bedam janayet ajnanam karma sangina. Bhagavan has told, you may be a jnani, but don't disturb the ways people are doing whatever karmas that they are doing. Don't confuse them. Right? Na buddhi bedam janayet. Don't create this conflict in their mind whether I am doing the right thing or not. It's a very important lesson for a jnani. If somebody comes and asks a jnani that I am doing this, is it correct or not? A jnani will never say what you are doing is wrong. Because jnani knows that this fellow has been doing it because he has been taking it as correct only, and that's why he is doing it. But suppose a jnani finds that there is something wrong in his doing, he won't find something wrong, but what a jnani may feel is that there is a need to improve what he is doing. So a jnani will say, what you are doing is perfectly okay, continue doing that. But after some time, just graduate to the next level, do this. This is how jnani will advise without confusing the fellow, and he will satisfy him that he won't go back with a guilt feeling that all along I've been doing something wrong. Jnani will never do it because of this reason. Na buddhi bedam janayet. Krishna says very emphatically. Right? So if somebody wants to study Vedanta, Jnani will say, very good. Please come. I will teach you whatever I know. So all these things are what indicate a person is a jnani, right? So let him move amongst people, doesn't matter. He will not get attached to anyone. He will not get attached to anything. A jnani will not say, oh, because I have to give an example to people, I have to get up in the morning and do my Sandhya Vandanam at 4:30. Knowing fully well that at 4:30 only the jnani will be doing Sandhya Vandanam, nobody will be there to watch him. But if there are people, he will, if needs, of course, if he's a sannyasi, he would have given up the karmas. But if he's not a sannyasi, he's a grihastha jnani, he will continue to do it. If not anybody else, for the simple reason that if his son is there and he observes his father doing it, maybe at one stage he will also start doing it. It is for his own good only. By the son doing Sandhya Vandanam, the father is not going to get any benefit. So, for all these reasons, whether he's a grihastha jnani or a sannyasi jnani, will be amidst everybody, behaving just like all the samsaris, but knowing fully well that all this is mithya and I am satyam. I have no the connection with all these things, but for the sake of others, I am doing all these things. Right? So that is what he says. Yes. Asaktaha vayuvat charet, he says in the end, right? So he's asakta, he's not attached to anything. Vayuvat charet, he is blowing or he moves around like a vayu. So akasha, vayu, both he is not here. Because vayu also, it keeps moving. So many things it will blow, but it will not get attached to anything, isn't it? Vayu is again unattached along with all these other things. So, like that, a jnani also moves around with everybody without getting attached to anybody. So, this was this 52nd shloka. Now, let us see the 53rd shloka. Upadhi vilayat Vishnau nirvisesham vishen munihi jale jalam viyat vyomni tejas 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 tejasi vayatha tejas tejasi vayatha. Now Adi Shankara has moved from Jivan Mukta to Videha. This shloka he is addressing the topic of Videha Mukti. So we know what is Videha Mukti, we have seen it as long as the Prarabdha is there, the Stula Shariram continues. Because mind you, Prarabdha affects only the Stula Shariram. When the Stula Shariram falls, the Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram and the Jivatma take off. They don't die. As we have seen, Sukshma Shariram goes away at the time of Pralayam. Karana Shariram survives the Pralayam also. Because that is the Karanam for the next creation to come. So only the Stula Shariram goes, attachment to Prarabdha is with only Stula Shariram, nothing else. Okay. That we must understand and remember always. So Sukshma Shariram continues, Karana Shariram continues. Mula Avidya is continuing, that is not destroyed. Now Mula Avidya is to do with what? Karana Shariram. We have seen. Nothing to do with Stula Shariram. So the Avidya continues. Birth after birth. But for a Jnani, that Mula Vidya, he falsifies. Because he has got the Jnanam and he knows that all these are Mithya only. Even a Karana Shariram we talk about is a Mithya only. Jnani knows. There is, for a Jnani, there is no creation, no Pralayam. Why? He is Nityam. Before the last Pralayam, he existed, he knows, and after the next Pralayam also, he will continue to exist. Brahman, Atma, always there. Nothing can affect. So for him, this Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, everything is Mithya. Whole Jagat is Mithya. And all these are part of the Jagat only. So when that happens, what happens? In Videha Mukti, Sharira falls because Prarabdha is over. Question is what happens to Sukshma Sharira and Karana Sharira, right? They are falsified. Doesn't exist. There is nothing called Sukshma Karana Sharira. Where is the need for me to give up my Sukshma and Karana Sharira for moksha when I am already Mukta? This is how we have to, it's a very subtle concept. And to understand this, you need to have more and more Chitta Shuddhi. This understanding will not come with any even little bit Mala in the Chitta. And that is why Karma Yoga is always insisted upon. You must practice Karma Yoga for a long time to get in the Chitta Shuddhi if you want to come to Jnana Yoga. If there is a pot kept on fire for a long time, the whole thing will be black under that. If you just pour some little bit of soap water, will that blackness go? It won't go. You have to go on rubbing for the blackness to go at least to a great extent, not fully. After that, you use soap and whatever it is, cleaning agent and all that. Then you can further rub it at the same time and then make it clean. Our chittam is so black with so many janmas of burning. That before applying the soap, first we have to rub and remove all that black coating on our chittam. That is why Karma Yoga is important. So all this subtle concept that on the one hand you say Jivan Mukti, Videha Mukti. After having said everything, suddenly you say there is no Jivan Mukti, there is no Videha Mukti for Jnani and all that. What are you meaning? Are we confusing the people? Confusing the people if the people do not have the purity of the mind, purity of their intellect to understand this. They will be confused. But the person who has actually gained a fair degree of purity, for him this is a very simple thing. From which standpoint you are looking at things, what matters? From a samsari point of view, there is Jivan Mukti, Videha Mukti, Prarabdha Karma, Shariram, Sharira Trayam, everything is there from a samsari point of view, even for a Jnani. From the standpoint of a Jnani, nothing is there. Everything is Mithya. Only I am there. Aham Brahmasmi alone is the only thing which is there. Satchidananda is the only existent thing, everything else is Mithya. This is the Jnani's point of view. Right? All these things we have to understand. These are all subtle things. Right? So, as I said, when the Prarabdha is exhausted, Stula Shariram is gone, but Sukshma Shariram and Karana Shariram continue. But then what he says here, that's what we are saying, no? Upadhi Vilayat Vishnu Adirvisation. Correct. Okay. So, but this Karana Shariram, Sukshma Shariram and Karana Shariram become Bhaditam for him. Bhaditam means it continues but does not have reality. That's what is called Bhaditam, right? Nashtam means it doesn't even appear. So, Stula Shariram, Nashtam, Karanam and Sukshma and Karana Shariram are Bhaditam. So, for a Jnani, in Maranakale, Stula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharirani, Sarvanapi Nashyanti. Why Nashyanti? One is Nashyanti, other two are Bhadita. Because they are declared as Mithya, they don't exist on their own. Right? And this is what is called Parantakale in Mundaka Upanishad. For a Jnani, Parantakale. Parantakale, what is that mantra? Dakhram vipapam parameshma bhutam yat pundarigam gurumagga santustam. I'm forgetting. Many times you just want to remember, it doesn't come. But Parantakale is Parantakale paramchanti. Still not correct. No, I'll not attempt to not say it wrongly. Okay. So for all of us, for everybody, Ajnanis, it is Antakalam. For a Jnani, it is a Parantakalam. Okay. So as I said, when the Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram also gets destroyed, and all this we are looking at it from a Samsari's point of view, from our point of view, not from a Jnani's point of view. So the Chaitanyam, which was till now confined to these three Sharirams, this Sharira Avichinna Chaitanyam gets merged, as it were. Again, merging is a figurative expression, right? Anavachinna Chaitanyam Brahma. That's what we say, gets merged with the totality. Individuality gets merged with the totality. There is no actual merging. We have seen so many examples of there is no actual merging, like a pot space and the Ghatakasha and Mahakasha. When the pot breaks, it's not that the Mahakasha will come from this side, Ghatakasha will go from here and then merge together. It doesn't, nothing like that. There was only one Akasha, but it appeared to be divided into Ghatakasha and Mahakasha because of the Akara of the pot. And we gave it a name also. We are very experts in giving names. Ghatakasha. The space within the pot is called Ghatakasha. The space outside the pot is called Mahakasha, as if there are two entities. There are no two entities. And when the pot breaks, one entity remains. Only Akasha remains. Then the Ghatakasha, Mahakasha business vanishes. So even when we are saying individual and total, Vyashti and Samashti, again Mithya. There is no Vyashti, Samashti, there is only one. There is only one Brahman. Anavachinna Chaitanyam Brahman even alone is there. And we were, because of all this ways Shastra tries to explain this very difficult concept, we can never even contemplate that there is no difference between me and Ishvara and Brahman and all that. We can't even think of it. We will call it blasphemy. In fact, if somebody says, what are you talking? So Shastra goes through all these route. It has to slowly takes us to a stage where finally we realize that there was never any individual, there was never any total, there was only one entity. Advaita, non-dual Brahman. That Brahman, Aham Asmi. This is what the Shastra finally wants to tell us. If Shastra is struggling to tell us this with so many slokas, mantras, Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, everything, after going through everything also people don't get this. Anyhow, so he says Upadhi Vilayat, when Prarabdha Avasana Kale, that is Upadhi Vilaya, Stula Sukshma Karana Upadhi Traya Vilaya, Munihi Vishnu Vished. Vishnu means, we should not take Shankha Chakra Gadadhari Vishnu. Here Vishnu means Sarvavyapi, all pervading Atma or Brahman. That is what is the meaning of Vishnu we have to take here. Vishet means merges, enters, becomes one. Again, figurative expression, we must remember. This is what is called Brahma Nirvanam Richati in the Gita. Nirvana means merger, resolution, dissolution, or whatever you may call. And as I said, what is the process of merging? It is not that Brahman is on this path and Jivatma is here, and they move in cinema and all this slow, so slow motion, they will come and merge. Not like that. Nirvisesham, he says, means completely, totally nirvishesham vishet. So here also, as I said, this merging is a verb which is used. There's no question of any activity or anything, any process involved. And as I already given you the Ghatakasha, Mahakasha example. So what happens? All along he was a Brahmavid. When the body falls, he Brahmaiva Bhavati. He is not a Brahmavid also. He has become Brahman. He understands that at that time of Videha Mukti, all this jnani business also goes away. Because at that time, jnani also, the word jnani also is a nama rupatmakam. It may last till the death, till the fall of the body. But when the body falls, no longer a jnani, he is Brahman only, which he already knew all along. But the title was sticking onto him given by the world. That also falls rather. So, Brahmaiva na Brahmavid. And this is, beautiful in Manisha Panchakam, there is a beautiful shloka. Right? Yat saukyam budhi lesha leshata ime shakradhayo nivrittaha yat chitte nitaram prashanta kalane labdhva munir nirvritaha yasmin nitya sukam budhau galitadhi brahmaiva na brahmavit yakachit sasurendravadin dapado nunam manisha mama. Manisha Panchakam is another very beautiful verses written by Adi Shankaracharya. Adi Shankaracharya, anything that he has written, you take, he just only Advaita Vedanta he talks. And so many different angles he talks about Advaita Vedanta. In fact, more than Upanishads, he tries to make us understand about Advaita Vedanta with so many different ways. That is the beauty of studying all these things with Bhashyam and also the other works, so many works which Adi Shankara has done. So, the gist of this sloka, I think I've got a couple of minutes, I'll just tell the gist of this sloka. An individual who has overcome every kind of conditional thinking is free from all kinds of desires. Such a person need not worry about anything or anyone in his life. He is full of love, kindness, and joy. And such a person responds to everything and everyone around him, but will not react to anything and to anything or anyone. He will respond, but not react. See the difference. And that person always abides in his self-effulgent, superlative happiness, undisturbed, unblemished happiness. And he is completely fulfilled and self-contented. So even if a minutest portion of that happiness is tasted, it will actually satisfy the King of Gods, says. That means the joy is far more than billions and billions of happiness experienced together. Same idea is there in Taittiriya Upanishad, Ananda Mimamsa. We have seen it sometimes. Yeah. So such a person is an ocean of superlative happiness. And it's not just a mere knower of Brahman, he is Brahman itself. Brahmaiva na Brahmavid. Therefore, Sahana Brahmavid Parantu Brahmaiva Bhavati. This is the fact. This is what I said in this sloka. We will continue with this sloka in the next class. I will stop here. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you all. Any questions are there? Doubts? Clarifications? All are under mute. Huh? Okay. If there are no questions, we can end the class and continue on next Tuesday. Okay?
Thank you, Mama.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Hari Om. Hari Om. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.